And welcome back to the Don't Make This Weird podcast. I'm your host, Tony, and with me, as always, is Heather. Heather, are you there? Can you hear me?
Hi there. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Don't Make This Weird podcast. Hopefully, I sound okay.
You know what? Hey, we're doing it live.
Doing it live. It wouldn't be the first time without any kind of, issues or anything like that. Hello, weirdos. How's everybody doing?
Yeah, it's better late than never, right?
Better late than never. Hello, weirdos. Happy to be here, everybody. I know, it's kind of funny because we're 2 blocks away from each other, and we're still sitting here going, "Yep, can't get this to connect. Can't get this to connect." And at one point in time, I should have been like, "All right, I'm hopping in my my beater truck, and I'm gonna just beat it." but yeah, so we decided to go ahead and do stream tonight again. In case there was anybody that was going to join us, because it's fun when we can have other people from all over the place come and hang out with us, but it's also fun just to kind of hang out and catch up, because man, oh man, I tell you what, between the both of us, we still living 2 blocks away.
Yeah, you think that now that we're closer, things will be a little easier to connect up with, and it seems to be even more impossible with our schedules. It's insane.
It is insane, yeah. Becca's saying I'm a little louder than you are, Tony, so I don't know. It took a lot to get to this point, Baghead. I had to, and it says I have a full power on my Bluetooth headphones, but we'll see how long it goes. Fingers crossed. I do love these. I do love these headphones, though. They're pretty awesome. But anyway, we're not sponsored by them, so I'm not going to tell you what kind they are. But it's good to be here. We already have Backhead joining in saying, "Sup, weirdos?" Heather louder than Strange Tony. "Hi, Mr. Guy. Hi, hello, greetings." And Mr. Guy says that Backhead and louder. That's probably a good thing.
He's not wrong. It literally comes down to no one wants to hear me, so we're just gonna let you talk.
Oh, come on. No, that's why we're here. We're having this conversation, man. This is the intervention. No, just kidding. But it's good. It's good to be here on a Thursday. Last Thursday. Honestly, I was at home with the vid, man. It was so stupid. It was the stupidest thing ever.
Talk about your week while I get some of these links shared out.
I will talk about it. So it just was kind of interesting because I got the 2 negatives and then a positive on it, and then so it was kind of more of like a restful week. It wasn't really extremely eventful or anything, but I did get some rest, and then by the time that I was able to get back to go to work, I had a completely different perspective. Before work, I was like, I just need a break, and be careful what you wish for, my friends.
Ain't that the truth?
Be careful what you say and what you wish for, because holy moly. So it was a long week of. It all started out with that little bit of sinus pressure and stuff. I'm just like, it's just sinuses, all the heat, it gets dry and all that stuff. And then things just started unraveling from there. And I was like, all right, here we go. Buckle up, bitch. It's time to get through this. But somebody else I was talking to that was sick with the same thing. I said, well, you know what? I guess we're getting it out of the way for the new year so that we have that immunity to have a great rest of the year, hopefully. So that was my positive, silver lining from it but I did get to rest. I watched a lot of garbage TV in between sleeping, 12 to 16 hours, it seemed like some of those days. But then when I started to feel better, I was like, I need to get out of the house. I can't do this anymore. I need to do something. Thank God for DoorDash, and being able to place an order for Walmart, because otherwise I wouldn't have. I don't know what would have happened, but yeah, it's interesting. Now it's working towards building that immunity and everything back up, doing the due diligence on that. I thought I was doing a really good job with it, and I was like, crap. So yeah, that's basically where I'm at right now. And I having all that rest, I'm like, let's go. I have a different, like, I feel better. I definitely feel better. I got to, get a different perspective on things, which sometimes you just kind of need something like that to happen to be able to get you back on the right track, I suppose. I don't know. It's a weird way to think of it, but it's also, I don't know. I guess it's a good way to think about it too, because I'm like, okay, I'm feeling more like myself. I'm happy. I'm thankful. So that was my week. How
Yeah,
about yours?
I concur with that because it's always nice to have some sort of uh, adverse conditions to remind you what you're doing and to pull through because you can. Now, obviously, we don't want it to be detrimental to our health, so boosting your
Right.
baseline is always fun. But I mean, that's the challenges we have as human. Like we all know adulting sucks, and most days you're getting punched in the beanbag. But
Yeah.
some days you get to punch back. So, and that's okay.
It's like when they say, what's that saying of some days you're the bird and some days you're the person that the bird's shitting on or something like that. Like,
Yep. I
yeah,
really
that puts
love
it
the
into
days that I get to fly around and shit on people. Because,
right.
no, my week's been kind of crazy. Still, doing the odd jobs to pay the bills and whatnot, and working and recording music and stuff all the time. Still working in the bands that I'm in, and trying to become a better musician as I practice and learn new songs and record my own music. It was funny. Uh, Picked up the missus today because she got some new ink, and
I did just see that, by the way.
oh, it looks
Beautiful.
sick. Like,
I didn't get a chance to message her back. She sent me the picture and I wanted to be like, oh, love it. But I was in the middle of trying to figure the sound out. So if she's sitting over that way, tell her I said, yeah,
Heather says,
it looks good.
"Yay on the new ink."
It looks great. It looks great.
But yeah, and it was funny because she was blasting one of the songs that I recorded in her car, and I'm like, "Wow, this actually sounds really, really good." And it's funny because she has one of those new Fandango vehicles that like literally puts all of the stuff for the track of what the name of the artist was. And I gotta say, it was kind of surreal seeing the song that I wrote and then the artist's name right below it, and I'm like, that's really
That's
weird.
me. Yeah. Yeah.
Because
It's
I
like
mean,
being
what's
that musician waiting on the radio, waiting for them to say, this is the new track by Tony Bradley.
right? And it's just, that's the dream you have as a musician is you want to hear your shit on the radio. But then to hear it being played over the radio and it's not something that you've pre-programmed into your playlist or whatever, because I remember putting like MP3s on a flash drive or
Yeah.
a CD or whatever and burning it that way. But
Gotcha.
like to see your name come up on a track that you recorded, and it's like, this is so fucking weird.
But so cool. Like, so cool, though. So
I'm
cool.
not gonna lie, like
Oh,
it was
that's,
really cool. Just like looking over while I was driving, going, "That's me."
hey, yeah. Yeah. That's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. I love that. I love that.
Well, and speaking of your local musician, hi, how you doing? Baghead dropped a bunch of new videos on the socials about supporting your local musicians. So
Yeah. Baghead.
I know, right?
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy.
Shout
That's
out to
awesome.
Baghead.
Yeah. Shout out to Baghead,
So
who is
support your
on like
local
all
musician.
of support your local musicians, but he is on, not only is his music on, is it on Initiative Impossible too? Or it
Uh,
was at one point, or he did something for them, or they drew him a Baghead logo. So that support in between the two, but also he's been on all over MTG Attitude
yes.
videos and everything. So that's really cool. That's cool. So we got a lot of stuff to talk about after, you continue with your week and let us know what else has been going on over in your world. 2 blocks away.
Well, and that's, it's like we're in two different worlds because we are doing so many things. And of course, the adulting thing of busting your ass and, doing the 9 to 5 or, whatever it is that you got going on. Cause, adulting
Yeah.
is fun.
Yeah, my seven to fives. Yeah, that's what I got. Dolly was like, I like 9 to 5. I'm like, Dolly, I got 7 to 5. What do you got? Oh yeah, the whole world. I forgot. Like she's so amazing. Anyway, I'm just working 10 hours. It's cool.
Right. But yeah, that's in a nutshell what my week has been. It's just been really busy trying to get a bunch of stuff done, and of course, we're setting up gigs and trying to get stuff together and trying to record some new music in one of the bands that I'm in, which is it's just kind of crazy. I mean, new year, new adventure when it comes to the music and whatnot, and I find it kind of crazy because when I walk into a room with other musicians and they go, "Hey, how do we do this?" and I have an answer, and then I go, "Wait a minute, why are you all looking to me to do the thing? Like, I, I, are you sure you want me to do this?" Like, it's one of those things where, like, is there a more adulty or adult here? Because,
I know one adult today.
well, it's not even that. It's just the fact that, like, you point some simplistic stuff out, in my opinion, and they go, "Oh, is it really that easy?" And I'm like, "Yeah." Like,
Mhm.
I there's there's a very thin line between being lazy and efficient.
True. True. Yeah, you're not in there.
And that's the thing, is the way that I do music. I mean, it's like right there. That's the thing that I
Yeah.
record music on. So it's one of those things where it's like I plug in, I turn on, I pull up the software, and I'm ready.
Yeah.
So the less clicky switchies and systems between my guitar or my vocals into the recording interface, the less time I have to go, okay, well, now I forgot my idea.
True. That's true. Like I never thought about it that way. I've watched you actually through the years create and make like some masterpieces of music, and it's not me like blowing smoke as you would say to me, like I'm not blowing smoke up your butt or whatever, however you say it. But I've watched you like create these great pieces of music. Like there's different pieces to it throughout, and I watched you build it actually, by using was it Personas or Vegas or whichever one that you work through, not
Personas.
not sponsored. Personas, and watching you like put these pieces together, and it's really cool to watch the process. There was times like when we first started hanging out that we would be working in the studio until like 3 o'clock in the morning just on pieces of music, or
Mm-hmm.
putting together someone's CD and like mastering that and like listening for these little bits and pieces throughout, like little discrepancies that you want to make sure are taken out of these pieces of music to make sure that they sound the best. And through the times of Hogwarts Slums, like that's some of my most favorite memories in
Yeah.
the decade that we've known each other, because those pieces of music are still like they still live on. Like they're still such great pieces. They were designed per character for that story, and it's just very interesting to watch you build those pieces, and now to see like where you've come in this decade of what music that you're bringing forward now.
Yeah.
All it's wild, like to listen to the different pieces and like listening to that and seeing your name on the radio like that. Even if it is just your mastered that she put in there, it's still cool. Like that's really cool. And working with these different bands, why wouldn't they ask you these questions? Like, oh, hey, what do you do with this? Or how do you do this?
But and that's the thing is like when you have playlists and stuff on YouTube and Spotify, because like ever since I went with DistroKid and started releasing
Hmm.
my own music, and I just went, holy shit. Now I can't hide behind a computer screen anymore. It's out in the world and everywhere. So I'm
Yeah.
on, all the platforms and whatnot that you release music on because that's what Spotify does, or not Spotify,
Yeah.
DistroKid.
Distro. Yeah.
And it's funny because like I'm on YouTube and she put a playlist together of all the tracks that I've released on YouTube. So when it comes up on her, device,
Yeah.
it says the track and it says my name. And it's still really surreal because yeah, I've been doing this for shit. I don't know. I was 14, now I'm 48, so do the math. I mean,
Yeah.
and I've been playing my ass off as a beginning novice to amateur to professional, whatever it is that I'm doing now. But you can't be in four bands and not notice you're doing a thing. But then the
Yeah.
performance is incredible, and it's like, man, that was really awesome. Thank you. And getting the fact that I get to do my thing at the open mic night, which is really cool.
Yeah.
Just going up there and like before, it was the scariest thing on the planet to walk up on the stage by myself and be like, yeah, I'm gonna jam to some backing tracks on YouTube. And now it's kind of cool because I go up and I do my thing, and people are like, wow,
Yeah.
that was really, really cool. How did you do that on the guitar? And I'm like, I just picked it up and played it.
I,
and
I pick it up and I strum the strings and yeah.
Well, and I'm not trying to be condescending, but it's one of those things where it's just like I go, okay, if you want to have a conversation about it, yeah, let's do it because X,
Yeah.
Y, and Z. But it just to me, I remember all the hours of practice. I remember all the hours of being frustrated and not being able to get a guitar part down or to get my fingers to do the things that I wanted them to do. And
Right.
now here I am, all these years later, of all those hours of practice, all of those, banging your head against the wall, of going, why can't I do this?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, and that's just that really is what it is. It's like it's figuring out like the process of where you started to
Yeah.
where you're at now, and like watching the evolution of you musicianship, or as a writer, watching how far you've come with starting and writing. I remember when I was a teenager, I decided I was gonna start writing my first novel, and I went back and I read it, and man, was my character sleepy, like always getting that sleep. It throughout that whole thing, and I was like, what am I? What? And but it made me go, okay, so like music written in the time of the age that you are is going to be different as you evolve.
Yep.
So as a writer now, I don't get much sleep, but I'm not going to be writing like all about that throughout a new book. So it's really different watching the evolution of that practice, like how that gets to that point and what you become with that hard work.
Well, and it's definitely a snapshot through the course of your life because I've found recordings from 20, 30 years ago. And I was like,
Yeah.
good Lord, that either stop playing or hey, there's something there, but you can tell that I was like working the piece out from a technique and a discipline standpoint. And I'm not saying that I've got it all figured out because no, we all suck compared to Bach, but I'm it's very easy now for me to go, okay, I have an idea. Let's work that idea out on the guitar or the piano or the keyboard or the bass or whatever instrument that I'm looking at. Like I literally did a bunch of soundscape stuff a couple of days ago. And Melissa was like, wow, that's really cool. What are you doing with that? And I'm like,
Yeah.
so it's kind of a Viking thing, but it's not a Viking thing because it's doing, some sort of variation of an old hymn. And she's like, okay, you piqued my interest.
Yeah. Tell me more. Like, what more is this? Yeah,
Well, and that's
that's
the
pretty
thing is
cool.
I get all these weird off the wall ideas, and then I bring them to fruition, as you've said. And you're
Mhm.
like, where did you come up with that idea? And I'm like, I don't know. I think I pushed too hard when I was pooping.
But I mean, but think about like I don't know, like the ideas. Sometimes they just flow.
Yeah.
They're just like they come so naturally with creating pieces, and then you have those times where you're just stuck and nothing is working, like nothing is piecing together, and you don't understand it. And I feel like in those moments as a creator, if you don't stop and take a break and just kind of, give yourself a little bit of grace when things are not like flowing like they normally do with music or whatever that you're creating, you gotta have to take that rest sometimes. And I think we're all so stuck sometimes in our head about what are we doing now? What are we doing to feel complete? What are we doing to matter, to, get something accomplished because everybody else is accomplishing this. Like there's such a huge pressure I feel sometimes, and I feel like it's even more so as we get older too. Like we're like the other day, that's what I was thinking. I was like, what am I doing? What am I doing? And there's that pressure sometimes, but we also need to stop and think sometimes too of like what we've already created and remember the accomplishments that have already been had, been made.
Well, it's interesting you say that because when you look at a lot of the people that, make it or become famous, quote unquote, um, I look at the ages that they've done that. Like it's kind of cool. Like what was the writer of Harry Potter was like 40 something years old before she got, famous with Harry Potter. And
Yeah.
there's so many other like just Google that stuff. There's so many other instances and examples of people doing stuff into mid to late life where they've finally broken through and having that success. And I mean, I firmly believe from a creative standpoint that the best is yet to come because when you look at, hell, look at Beethoven. Okay, let's just start there. In my opinion, and you can agree or disagree, I don't care. One of the best symphonies that he wrote was Ode to Joy, and that was one of his last symphonies, if not the last symphony that he wrote. And
Mhm.
when you are in a concert hall and you're hearing this when it starts out with just the upright bass and the cellos of that very distinct melody of da, 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 and like you're hearing this stuff and then
Mhm.
at the end of it just this elation of it's this catharsis that has literally taken you from one place and transported you magically by the sheer excitement of sound and voices to hear this performance and production live of a full orchestra and a full choir literally singing Ode to Joy. And you're like, oh my God. I mean, the first time I heard it, I was at one of the great places in St. Louis, Missouri, one of the big production amphitheaters they had there, and got
Yeah.
to see this at one of the opera houses, and I'm I was just weeping at how beautiful this whole experience was because
Mhm.
when you have that just from a sheer volume and dynamic standpoint experience like if you're not moved by that and that he
Yeah.
did this later in his life, the guy was completely deaf when he wrote this.
Yeah. That's what, like that wows me that, and if that isn't an inspiration too, and something else to think about.
Yeah.
I encourage that, thought process of thinking away from, oh my gosh, I'm not at this point and I should be. I should have this done. But like we put so much pressure, like how can you create when you're putting that much pressure on yourself? You can't make those things happen if you're putting that much pressure on it. And I think about that like with my job, learning
Mhm.
something new in my 40s, like it was like, oh, what am I doing to myself? But I didn't give myself that grace for a lot of that time period, as I was learning these things. I was always like, I should know this. I should be on top of this. Like, I should get this down. And I had to kind of stop and go, wait a minute though. Like, I got to this point within six, like a year of my career. I mean, it went so fast. I wasn't even a full year before I got to the one point. So I'm just like, I gotta give myself grace. Like, I haven't been here that long. Like, there's still so much to learn within that job position. So like, again, I don't know why, but this is resonating with me tonight about not taking so much stock in where you think you should be as opposed to where you're at.
Well, and I mean that's
I
the
don't know.
thing is that to me that goes back to the music part of it. Like I've written so much music. Like I have hard drives full of music that will never see the light of day. And to take a page from Rick Beato, he's like, well, not all of it does need to see the light of day because some of it's good and the best ones are kind of rise to the top where you just kind of go back and it gnaws at you and you're like, oh god, that I can't let that piece of music go. But in the
Yeah,
same token, what is it? You write 1,000 songs and one is maybe good. So
yeah,
that reps and sets, like I believe that your best pieces of music, like you said, are floating out in the universe, and they're from the creator because you're that open vessel where you drink it all in, and it comes from the universe and the creator, and then you finally able to apply that to your instrument, whether it's your voice or guitar or whatever it is. And just some of the best pieces of music have been written that way. Like I've been dissecting Van Halen, and it's
hmm
like Eddie was such a great guitar player. Not I'm just it when you look at his craftsmanship and his virtuosity, and plus the
hmm
amount of fun he had playing some of these guitar parts.
right,
And then you take that as inspiration, you go, okay, I want to tap into that. And I want to be able to go, well, what does that look like for me? Okay, so if you're writing a song every day, not every day the song is going to be great. And like there was a minute there that I'm literally writing 2-3 songs a day because it's that the channel that's coming in from the creator, and having this just uh, funnel just dump into you with all of this great music. And I remember several times you coming into the studio, you're like, hey, is that somebody's? I got lyrics for that. And I'm like, I'm not even done
yeah,
finished writing it yet. And you're like, that's all right.
yeah, but
Give me a microphone. But that's the thing though, is that the best part about that is they're truly divinely inspired moments
mhm,
that if you don't capitalize on them, they're gone forever. That's why I have to
right,
laugh where it's like, look, you have to you have to record everything because you're
yeah,
here for just a blink of a whisper and then you're gone. And nobody else will
right,
be able to, capture that magic of what you did. So having the ability to record so many things that I do. I mean, I have thousands of songs, and who knows? Maybe some of them will see the light of the day. It's been nice to be able to perform some of the songs that I've written in bands that I've been in, but
hmm
still, you know, like you said, give yourself grace. You may not
hmm
get it today, but you know what? Keep working at it. Eventually, you'll be on stage. And one of the best times of that evidence of being able to be on stage besides you, like we've been on several stages and just performed and
we,
had an
we
absolute
have.
blast.
We have, and one of the things is like recently there was a video that popped up in my news feed for you page, whatever. And it was this kid who had this incredible voice, like so good, but so shaky and like nervous. And I remember those times when people would be like, "Yeah, I can tell that you're nervous. I can tell. You can hear the shakiness in your voice." And I think back to that, and instead of taking that as I need to learn how to chill out and just flow with whatever music that we're doing and just do the best I can and have fun with it.
Yeah.
I would get so nervous about what if I mess up the lines. Well, eventually I did. I don't know. Even the ones that I wrote myself, I don't remember those damn things. I wrote them, but I don't remember them. And you just got to learn how to go with the flow. That was like, with this podcast, I mess up words constantly, and that's okay. Some people are so precise that they have to make sure that everything is perfect, and I feel like if I were to do that, I'd be cheating myself because I'm just me, and I don't want to be perfect. I don't feel like I'm like anybody's supposed to be.
Well, it's
So
funny you say
yeah,
that because like I got the honor and the privilege to be at the last open mic night with my daughter, and she stepped on
yeah,
stage and did her first performance, and like I they recorded it on YouTube, or not YouTube, Facebook, because they did a Facebook Live, and
okay,
then
yeah,
I also recorded it on my phone so that I combined the two performances. And yeah, it was great because she's like, Dad, I can't do this. I'm nervous as shit. And I'm like, look, in this type of setting, you have to remember it's an open mic. Nobody's paying
yeah,
attention to you. Go up there and just have fun. You know the
yeah.
song.
I know.
You've you
Yeah,
you played this
do
song a
it.
thousand times in your bedroom. Get up there and just
Yeah,
have fun. And she's like, you're right, I
yeah,
can do this. And then she went up and did it, and like she killed it. She knocked it out of the park.
yeah.
And then she stepped off the stage. She's like, Dad, I want to do that again. I got to learn more songs. And I'm like, see, I told you, you got this.
Yep. It's and sometimes too, and I know that this is something that resonates with me, is like if someone tells me, "Hey, you got this," I do. I don't know what it is, but there's specific people that have been in my life that if they say that things are going to be okay, and then I got this and I can do this, like that, those words of affirmation, those things, like it resonates with me, and I'm okay. Like I can do it. I got it done. I can,
Well, yeah. I
So
mean, how much more naked do you need to be and just completely insecure to step on stage because you don't have an instrument and you're like, oh, I don't instrument, but you do.
that's just, yeah, I do
But
actually.
you literally step on stage with a microphone and you bring the house down. Like, girl, you've got a set of pipes. And I'm not just saying that because you're my best friend. I'm saying that because, girl, you can sing.
It's been so long since I've actually done it though. Like I am so out of practice. I have to get back into that. Quite honestly, it's been a while since I have done that. So
Yeah.
it's coming. Time's coming. And that's another thing too, is scheduling and things like that. I miss
Right.
it. I do. Should probably catch up over here on the
Yeah, I was going to
YouTube
say, let's
really
catch up in
quick.
chat. Go ahead.
Yeah, so let's see. Where how far back are we? Greetings. Mr. Guy says we all come for Tony and stay for the Heather. Okay. Heather should run for governor. What, Becca? Becca says strange Tony could run for king of dump trucks and dumpsters.
You're not
He's
wrong.
saying you got a dump. He's saying you got a dump a. You got
Yep.
to dump a kid.
I got to dump a kid.
Insomnia says sleep is a myth. Okay. Becca said, LOL, don't come to my studio. You only get a half hour to record and a half hour to mix and tweak. Tweak or twerk? I don't know.
Tweak.
He says, post it. And yep, it's all God. I'm just a tool, is what he says. And then Mr. Guy says that Tony, open mic night equals proud dad mom. Or dad moment. I thought I said dad mom.
Dude, you have no idea, man. It was absolutely amazing. Well, over here on the
Tony
old Book of
got
Faces.
one more thing. One more
Yeah.
thing. Mr. Guy just said Tony got a wicked dumpa.
I got a wicked dumper. The missus would agree with you, Mr. Guy. I don't know, baby. Do I got a wicked dumper?
A what?
A wicked dumper?
I love your dumper.
She says, I love you, dumper. Good push. Tim Lauder over there on Facebook land says, where's my space helmet, Brandon? And Christina Best is chiming in and says, hey, Tony, how you doing? Hi, Christina, how you doing? And then Denny Wasman, how you doing, my brother from another mother?
Oh, hey, yeah.
Great to see you guys. Don't make this weird. Love you, man. Ben, we got to get you back on here and do some more stuff, man, and talk about how you been. Just to reach out to you, man. So hit me up in the inbox, man. We'll get our schedules together. And then John Shields, hey, that's the guy I'm in the band with. John
Hi,
says,
John.
bring it to bring it to band practice. We'll use it, brother. LOL. And he said, dude, bring it to practice. Bring it all. We'll give it some light and shine. I got tons of lyrics that need music to it. And then that's it. That's all I got in Facebook land for right now. So thank you guys
cool.
so
That's
much.
cool.
And hey, if you've been around this long, like and subscribe, do all the social media stuff because
Beep boop, beep boop.
well, that's right. We're here for just a little bit longer, and then we're outie 5,000 for this episode.
Yeah, for this episode. So we got some other stuff to kind of touch base on. Last night we have the new channel that came to our channel. I'm not like, can you explain to me a little bit? Is the name different? Is it us? I'm kind of kind of a little confused. But we play D&D. I know that much, and we played D&D last night.
So basically,
that
what
happened.
it is it's Rule of Cool, only now it's under Strange Friends Media. So we are the proud new weird step adopted parents of caretakers of Atoa.
Yeah, we adopted caretakers of Atoa, which means Ren, and it means Tannis, and it means oh my God, Holmes, Sherlock.
Yep.
And Angel, and we can't forget Bard doing Bard things.
Bard doing Bard things.
So we have a wild crew, I suppose. But yeah, we do have that. We did play D&D last night. We are looking to continue to do some chill streams. I started working on a new logo for chill stream and a couple different other things that we got coming down the pipes, which is cool. Glad to be back. Of course, we did talk about doing this like 3 times a month now instead of 4, which unfortunately it ended up missing 2 different times because of work schedule and me getting sick. But here we are. We're working towards not doing that no more. And being able to hang out here. Plus, we do have it's almost top of the hour, so we might as well talk about the other stuff that's underneath our umbrella if you want to go ahead and pull that up really quick.
I can pull that up. Keep talking.
Yeah. So with that being pulled up, when it's up, definitely, Baghead is under Strange Friends Media. I know that much. And you're watching the Don't Make This Weird podcast. If you guys haven't liked the channel yet, we would appreciate that support. Please and thank you. And if you are enjoying this episode, please hit that thumbs up. We thank all of you that are hanging out over there on Facebook as well. We do have the usual strange crew here in the chat right now, talking and commenting, which we do really love that and appreciate that a lot. So under the Strange Friends umbrella, Baghead, of course, Tempest Striker Gaming, Suck My Deck, Magic Gaming Jerks, which we haven't seen in a while. Hopefully that's going to make a comeback. Now we have Rule of Cool and Chill Stream. Was it worth it? An Initiative Impossible. If you haven't checked out those guys are funny and very, very entertaining. So please make sure that you're checking out all of those that are underneath the umbrella. And I know we're going to continue to keep on creating different things. Looking into getting more people on for interviews. Obviously, you just threw that out for Denny to come back. He's always been a great fun to have on the show. And, he has such a huge, amazing story. And we've talked about in the past, and he also does have a book that he's written. So very inspiring. I actually own that. I have a copy of his book as well.
So do I. It's right over there. And that's to continue off what Heather's saying. The other ones that we're affiliated with is MTG Attitude, Twiddler's Place, Action Surge, This Is My Brain, Chaos Gaming. And I got to update this one. I have just not had time to. So bad, Tony. You had one job.
Yeah, Tony. One job and one job alone. Look at you.
Know, right?
Look at you not making employee of the month.
I will never make employee of the month because I have to pay myself to do that. But then over to our Patreon, and if you guys want to support us, this is literally the workhorse, the engine, the thing that we get to do to pay ourselves and to make some of the production of this show happen. with equipment and so on and so forth, is our Patreon. So, guys, we do have a Patreon. Go over there, head it up, help us out. Because if you want to see more cool stuff, that's how it happens. So we've got a couple of different tiers here. We've got Weirdos, Editor J. Love you, Editor J. Miss you. Hope you're doing better, buddy. We know you just had surgery. Not to put your stuff out there, but walk it off. Don't be a bitch. And
Eat a sandwich. Eat a sandwich.
and then we've got Deckheads, Big Box Dave, and I Got a Load of Page. Did anybody ever find out who I Got a Load of Page actually is? Because that.
Well, I don't think they want to admit that they support us. I don't know. I'm not sure who
I
it
mean,
is.
that's fair. It's us. I don't.
I'm not
I don't
sure.
think people want to admit that they support us, anyways. But
That's cool. It's fine.
I'm fine
It's
with
all right.
that. And then we've
I'm
got
not
the
crying.
Strange Friends tier with Mr. Guy. Love,
He is
Mr.
strange.
Guy. Thank you so much.
He's a
He's been
strange
a
friend.
huge advocate of the channel. Like,
Oh
seriously.
my gosh, yeah. Absolutely.
And then we've
Yeah.
got the groupies over there for the Guitar Friday people that like to come over and hang out with us. And I will be doing Guitar Fridays. I'm still trying to work out some tech issues with that because for whatever reason my guitar doesn't like to be heard. So as soon as I get that resolved, guys, I will be back doing Guitar Fridays and hanging out and just getting that out there because I know you guys really, really enjoy it, and I really appreciate you guys coming and hanging out with me on Guitar Fridays. So this
Would you say your guitar? Would you say your guitar is a silent partner?
Well, and that's the thing is like this weekend we're still trying to work out a schedule because there's the distinct possibility I will be playing at a Super Bowl party possibly, but it's a work schedule thing, and if I make that happen, then yeah. So there's that, and I'll keep you guys posted on that. So follow all the socials. That way you guys can stay up on what we're doing and where we're going. Because here's the thing, guys. We're only 2 months away from springtime. And that's when the venues and the festivals and all of that stuff start popping off. And we are everywhere when it comes to that time. Just going and doing stuff. And, hey, definitely looking forward to Tescolapalooza.
Oh, yeah. Last year was so awesome. I can't wait for this year. Oh, my God, I love it. So, with that being said, with all of that stuff that you guys just heard us talking about, looking forward to Tescolapalooza, looking forward to springtime coming, but also looking forward to Dave, Mr. Guy, and Boss Jay coming. We switched out Jay. We switched out Jays this year. Got a different Jay coming. We're not getting the editor Jay. We're getting the Boss Jay.
We're getting the Boss Jay. Wait, is that an upgrade because we got Boss Jay?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
I'm not sure
I guess. I mean, I've met Boss Jay. I met Boss Jay at the guys camping Wiener Island thing, and
we played with Boss Jay on D&D.
Yeah, we played with Boss Jay on D&D. So very cool guy. He's a lot of fun. He tells some pretty outlandish, great stories. Just not like a lying outlandish, but like he makes up these really funny campfire stories. And Editor Jay did this whole camp montage thing, of the island, and you can hear me laughing like a hyena. I actually had to get up and I said, guys, I have to go to bed. I'm laughing so hard I'm gonna throw up. So I couldn't breathe. I was gonna puke, and I didn't want to be the one that would be remembered for that. So we're gonna go to bed. I can't do this anymore. I hurt. But it was good. It was a good time. I can't wait to see those guys. They are going to be coming here to this casa. So hanging out. We're gonna do some fun stuff with those guys. Get an interview in. I would love to get that interview in with those guys. So that's gonna be fun. So we're looking forward to their visit. Coming here from Mass this time though. They're not they're not driving the whole time. So they're gonna be getting on the plane this time. So we'll get to see them sooner and for a little bit longer. So that's awesome.
Well, and we're definitely looking forward to some downtime because it's kind of a mini vacay for us too, because with all the stuff that we got going on. And it's,
Yeah.
we were talking about it. What was it? Was it Guy and I? Because he was helping me with some tech stuff. And I'm like, it's been too damn long since we've hung out, man. I miss the shit out of you guys. And I'm like, it's kind of funny because we all just get the chance to hang out and be in the same space because we're all friends. Not just,
Right.
It's not just all of this social media crap. Like we're actual
Right.
friends behind the scenes. So it's great.
It's been a cool experience.
Yeah.
Like it's been a cool experience. So it's been 3 years. Like this is the annual trip that they always make. They've been making for 3 years now.
That's awesome.
And thinking back to that, it was, just the first time that they came out and how much fun it was and just how like we all really just flowed together and became closer friends after that trip. And it's been really cool because they loved us so much and we do appreciate that they've been coming back ever since. So they take time out of their schedules
Yeah.
to make a trip here for us, and that's really cool. Very cool, genuine dudes.
Yeah, and that's the best part about it. Like I look at all of the videos of the Michigan trips that Jay put together, and I had to laugh because I'm like, man, it was great, hanging out in the studio with Guy and Jay, and then getting to meet so many different people. Joey Moss, getting to meet Matt Castor Mage, getting to meet Rudy and hang out with Rudy in the kitchen at the guest house. Like that was, God, that was so much fun. And just
that was fun.
Like having a blast doing this stuff. So like we're really excited because we get to have that, the gathering, if you will, with close personal friends that, now have become like this weird island of misfit toys family. So we love you guys. We miss you guys. Not to gush on you, but we do. We miss you guys, and we can't wait to hang out with you.
Yeah. So we got a couple more things in here. Let's see. Baghead says death of a not my lyric. That could be a hit song. My dad's joining in. Hey dad. He says, hey rock and roll, how you guys doing? Mr. Guy says Heather, guitar silent partner equals bad dad joke of the century, which is funny because my dad, who tells very bad dad jokes, just joined in. And then talking about Bosch Day, Mr. Guy says, the glacial tuna, and her name was Earl. Oh God, yes, that was the story and a whole thing. But anyway, they might talk about that. I don't know. Good stuff. Lots of fun with those guys. But yeah, so many different things that we're looking forward to coming up, and I just can't wait for the snow to just be gone. I mean, I know we signed up, we live here in the Midwest, like it's not. Do you feel like it's been that bad though this year?
So here's the thing: is obviously that I do a lot of the outside jobs, and I get paid to do the outside jobs. I've got to use my snowblower this year quite often, but not as often as I would like. And it's been mostly, shovel work because of the density and the viscosity of the snow, because it's been that heavier, wetter stuff that just gets clogged up. So it's great that I get to use my snowblower, but most of the time I've had to use the shovel. And, it's that physical activity that I get to do for the jobs that I get to do. Like I'm getting the itch now because like my plants in my dining room are starting to grow and blossom. So seeing that, my moringa tree is growing and it's like 4 foot tall now, and seeing that my apricot trees are starting to grow and they're 1.5 foot tall, and same thing with my starfruit tree. And like my avocado trees are finally starting to poke through the soil. And I'm just like, God, what am I going to plant this year?
What am I gonna do? There's so much. That's awesome though. That's really cool.
And well, having the ability to for the lawns that I did this year, and having little different compost piles that I created from the lawn trimmings and stuff, because I was the one that did the lawns. So knowing that it's not chemically treated or any of that other stuff. And now you've got all of this free compost that I'm sure I'm going to have access to because I'm going to be invited back to do lawns for the summer and doing more
Right.
lawns and being able to create that stuff that way. So that's going to be nice to go, oh, hey, do you want to do a garden too? Because now you have all this free compost that you don't have to go buy. And it's living
Right.
microorganisms and biome that you can have some thick, dense, natural compost literally in your backyard that I created. So
Right.
having multiple sites to do that, I'm really excited to see what that's going to look like for this year, not just with my soil, but with everybody else's soil, because there's different ways that it breaks down based on the different environments and sites that I have
Oh
for
yeah.
lawn
Right.
jobs that I've done.
Yeah, I was looking at like so out front for when they were going to sell this house. They had all this like the pictures and stuff. So was like messing around. So I have like that app I can make the logos and do all that stuff. So I was gonna pull up one of those pictures and I was going to plant different flowers around the house to kind of see what I like and kind of map that out and see. And like I'm looking forward to that because there's this there's this tree out here. I don't know if you know. I mean, it's a bush and it gets really pretty, but after it's not pretty anymore, it's just a bush that's in the way. And I'm just like, don't want that gone. I don't know, but yeah, just looking at the different landscaping ideas and whatnot. And I know that you come back here to do this lawn as well, so I appreciate that.
Right.
And there's blackberries back there, so I was like, ooh, I can make blackberry jam.
Yeah. And here's the thing. Like being hired by you to do your lawn, which thank you again. I'm hoping that that's going to be a continued thing through the seasons because I loved doing your lawn. But you have some of the sweetest blackberries in your backyard where I'm just
Heck
like,
yeah,
I'm going to steal some of these when I'm mowing your lawn.
the snack for me. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, I was thinking because I didn't really get a chance. I wasn't here until I was here off and on, but I didn't really get back to this area until like after when it started to get colder and whatnot. But so this summer, I'm gonna take the chance to kind of see what's all back there, and obviously take the look of what could be planted, and how much time I have for certain things. That's the other thing is just like the work schedule that I have now is kind of more difficult with a lot of things, and that's why I have cats over dogs also because the schedule that I have for work that's just not fair to be able to have dogs. So that's kind of where I'm at. So I was like, I don't have a guard dog at home because of that.
Well, what's nice about gardening and stuff, as long as you have the right conditions, it's literally clean water, lots of sunshine, and nutrient dense soil, and it just grows and produces.
That's true too. But like watering and stuff, I have blue thumbs when it comes to that. So yeah,
Well, blue thumbs
I'll
are
figure
great
it
if
out.
you're growing mushrooms.
Never thought of it that way. All right, maybe I should try my hand at that instead.
Which I just found a
But
local grower for Lion's Mane, so get at me after the show.
all right, perfect. Yeah. So lots of cool things, lots of really, some great experiences. And I'm just looking for that warm sun and the nice breeze and being able to just sit outside and enjoy that. You get to that point in the wintertime when you're just like, okay, I'm ready for my face not to hurt now. I'm tired of the
Right.
cold. I'm over it. So I'm kind of just getting more excited about that and not feeling. See, it's that point where you feel too cooped up and you're ready to not be cooped up anymore.
Well,
That's
and
where I'm
that's
at.
kind of where I'm at with the whole thing is I want to get back outside and get some soil under my fingernails and get some grass on my feet and just get back into the whole catharsis of planting and growing and cultivating and going, hey, I just harvested some fresh rosemary and some lemon balm
Mhm.
from my garden. Do you want to have a cup of tea with me? Like, as English as that sounds, it's amazing because I'm scraping down to the bottom of my cayenne pepper that I grew in my garden this year. Like, I'm so excited to grow a ridiculous amount of cayenne pepper again because I had probably 15 plants and I produced easily about 70 different cayenne peppers
Oh, wow.
and then dehydrated them, saved the seeds, and then just proceeded to grind my own cayenne pepper, which smelled so good.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Like, that's where it's at.
Well, right.
Grow your
And like
own.
the closer you get to that production part of doing things, of just going into your garden, then going in your house and doing all that production stuff like coriander, which is great because it's literally the seeds of cilantro,
Mhm.
dehydrating lemon balm. Holy shit, I grew probably about 15 pounds of purple basil
Oh, I love purple basil.
and
Basil. I like
dehydrated
basil.
all of it. And like, I've been just like sprinkling it in everything that I've made. Like, I made carrot cake. I made Indian spice carrot cake. Oh my God.
Oh, you
It
did mention
lasted
that.
literally less than 24 hours in my house. Both times I made it.
You're like, hey, I got some of this and it's gluten free, and I'm like, maybe you should try. And I was like, okay. I look outside. No porch drop off.
Well, that was the
No
plan,
cake
but
for me.
apparently when I cook, and you know this, people are showing up in droves going, hey, what you got there, man?
What you making there, guy? Yeah, yeah. No, I get it. I understand because I the cheesecake stuff, the pumpkin mousse, like
Yeah.
different things.
I kind of want to do a variation of what I did now that I know that it works. Because, well, here, let me, guys, if you get the chance to do this, I encourage you to do this because I'm going to share my carrot cake recipe with you right now. And I actually wrote it down, which is fun. But basically, what I did is I took 2.5 cups of carrots and blended them into a puree. And then I took a cup and a half, a cup and 3/4 of gluten-free flour, which I get it from Country View. Stuff is
Mhm.
amazing. And then did 1.5 teaspoons of baking soda, 1 teaspoon of or baking powder. Sorry, 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder, and then 1 teaspoon of baking soda. I did cinnamon. I did
Okay.
shaky shake, turmeric, shaky shake, ground cloves, cayenne pepper, and then coriander, shaky shake, shaky shake. All those are the dry ingredients. And then what I did, and this is like I took the recipe offline and then made it my own. So
Okay. Yep.
that's where the Indian spice stuff comes. Because, like, I mean, anybody that likes Indian spiced coffee is really gonna like this carrot cake.
Yeah.
So then I did 4 eggs and I did 1 cup of avocado oil, which was absolutely amazing. So if you guys want, I put the cup of avocado oil in the blender with the carrots, which made it
Makes sense. Yeah.
really, really good. And then instead of sugar, because the recipe online called for 1 cup of sugar, and no
Well,
bueno. I used
right.
half a cup of honey, and oh my God, it turned out absolutely
Perfection.
amazing. And then did
Yeah.
1 cup of, or not 1 cup, geez, 1 teaspoon of vanilla, and
The
then
couple.
the 2.5 cups of carrot uh, pureed, and then mixed all that together to basically the consistency of like a really thick paste. So it turns out to be
Yeah.
like a pound cake. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mixed it all up, tossed it in the oven, and for about 35 minutes. Obviously, you got to do the little
The whole chest.
the
The
toothpick
toothpick.
test. Yeah, at about 350, and then yeah, it was done because I check it at about 20-25 minutes because
Yeah.
it's raising and doing the things. But
Of doing the
yeah.
rising.
Oh God, it was so freaking good, and it literally filled up that amount. Filled up a pan of about was it 11 by 9 glass cake pan, which was
Okay.
so freaking good.
Heck yeah. I'm ready for
But
you to make it that if you're coming for Saturdays.
well, and here's the best part about it is I literally took that and then got some cream cheese frosting and put it on there. I kind of want to do like a honey whipped cream cheese frosting because I've been trying to remove the sugar part of it.
Yeah.
So having the all natural shit that you're able to go through and create yourself, because there's a
Hmm.
ton of amazing honey whip uh, uh, frosting recipes out there. I'm just trying to find the right one because like somebody did it was a honey whip, almost like meringue type texture with cinnamon,
Oh,
and then
that'd be good.
they did a little bit of like the ground cloves to give that sweet bitter, and then did a pulverized vanilla bean in
I was
all of
just gonna
that.
say vanilla bean
And I was
would
like,
be
oh
perfect.
my god, that sounds amazing. So
Yeah, that would be
here's what
good.
I want to do is the next step is I want to take that as my base and then
Hmm.
use the my version of the cheesecake as the top of that, and then just do like whatever berries or whatever on top of that. I'm thinking like maybe blackberry or something drizzle, or
Hmm.
just doing like a blackberry top. So Indian spice carrot cake, cheesecake, blackberry drizzle. Uh.
Yeah, I'm done here. That's it. I don't know, guys. Sent. That sounds good. Now that sounds amazing. We have some people jumping in. Twiddler's hanging out. Hey, Twiddler, go in.
What's up, Twiddler?
Mr. Guy obviously asking Twiddler how he's doing. They're going back and forth with that conversation, and then Space is joining in, and he says hi. It's been
How's
a
it
while
going,
since we
man?
saw that strange friend. Welcome to hang out with us, guys. We appreciate all of you. I hope everything's been well. Before we close out the show tonight, I have a question, and it's kind of more of a serious question.
What's that?
So my serious question for the night is, what what is one thing this year that you are thinking, like, what is the most important thing for you this year? Like, what's important to you?
This year for me, or is it just a rhetorical
Yeah.
question?
What's important for you this year? Like for you,
For
what is something
me,
that's, yeah, for this year that is
huh?
important to you? Like this year that's important to you.
Well, I mean, it's interesting that you say that because obviously I'm on the venture of still reading a ton of books. I just started the Assassin's Creed series. Um,
Oh, okay, yeah, nice.
and I'm into book two. It's called Brotherhood, I think it is. Really great series. Um, uh, but it's interesting you say that because I've been digging into all of the history stuff because I'm actually part of this Bible study on Sunday that like we go deep. It like the historical significance, the religious, the political, like the people group that these studies and these times in the Bible that it was written for. And it's kind of funny because the more that I learn about this stuff and the kind of rinse and repeat, if you don't know the history, you're doomed to repeat it. So, the challenge that I'm putting before myself is to study this stuff so that I can be more knowledgeable about it with um, the just the different opportunities and the different Bible studies that I'm part of because I do like 4 or 5 Bible studies through the course of the week. But to really
Yeah,
just sit back and learn and get past the process of, oh yes, I know this, I have a super, I got a big S on my chest saying that I was super Christian. But no, just sitting back and shutting up and realizing that I don't know everything and just having this
yeah.
season of learning.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that's a really cool, like a good answer to that. Like, I kind of put that out there as like an icebreaker where I work at too, is just asking people what's most important to them this year. Like, what is something that's important to you? And if you guys want to chime in chat as well, like, go ahead, feel free to. So before I get into that part of it, Spaces. Last time I was here was Among Us. So,
We got to
oh
do that
wow, that's
again on
fun.
Chill Stream.
We gotta do that again. We gotta do that again. And then, so they're saying that my most important would be my kidney transplant completed successfully.
Absolutely.
Wow. So they're like, I know I've been kind of like following you and stuff, and I hope for that too for you, man. Like you're such a good guy. Like I haven't had a chance to actually meet you and the missus in person, but seeing you online and like just how compassionate and like good of a person you are, I really hope for the best for you and for your health in this year and your journey. So I don't want to get all like teary eyed because that that heartfelt feeling for you, but I really hope that happens for you too. So
Yeah, we definitely got you in our prayers, man. You're not too far from our thoughts because we love the channel. We love all the stuff that you do, and to piggyback with what Heather said, you're a good dude, and it's nice to when the good guys win. It's nice to have a good celebration.
yeah, so yeah, I know that's kind of more of a maybe a deeper question. Maybe it's not as deep of a question for some people, Um, but I'm curious, like, what is the most important thing for you this year? Like, it could be,
Well, what about
just
you, Heather? What's the most important thing for you this year?
the most important thing for me this year is, readjusting my sales, like readjusting being back here and, letting go of last year and all the things that I faced. And just trying to reacclimate of being home and forgiving myself for things that I've held on to for too long. You know what I mean? Um, because that kind of stuff you hold on to, and I don't want it to ruin what I got coming forward. So that's important to me.
Yeah, I get
It's
that.
just
Like,
trying to reconnect because I felt so disconnected last year.
I
There's still
feel that.
some of those, like there's still some relationships that I feel so disconnected from. And there's times in life where you just kind of you disconnect, and it's not necessarily that they've done anything. You just I don't know. Like I get in these weird things where I just kind of disconnect, and I think it's just me trying to navigate the heaviness that's on my shoulders and on my heart sometimes.
Yeah, I
So
get that.
that's
I mean,
important.
everything in its season. I mean, me and the missus were talking about that the other night, and I'm like, man, this is just. It's great when you can sit with your emotional support human and go, it's two
Yeah,
people out there, and
yeah.
just be good with it. Like, you don't have to make excuses to not go out. You just don't do it.
Yeah, I mean, and it's different. Like, there's so many different scenarios. I guess you could think about that. Like me and your Mrs. work in retail, and and we make big decisions
Yeah.
like throughout the whole shifts of what we do. Being managers, and it it does get exhausting. Like you get there and you start making the big decisions from the very beginning. You sign up and you think, yeah, I've made it. I'm a manager now. Like this is great. And then you're like, ooh, yep, that's a lot.
Is there a
Like,
more adultier
woo,
adult around?
woo. Right, exactly. Is there more adults around? Like, cause I signed up for a big adult job and I'm not a big adult. I can't reach some of the things even there for me. So like I think about that, but I'm not saying that I'm not proud of the progress.
Right.
And both ways, like I'm proud of her too, for taking these positions, these roles, and moving forward in life. But yeah, it's a lot. And so like when I come home, it's like being a turtle, and I get to come back into my shell where I know that I can just be me and not worry about making big decisions for anybody else, but just being.
Yeah.
And it's interesting when you stop and think about it, and you're like, what did that do? Like, what was that
Well,
for? But
yeah. I mean, and that's the thing I don't think people realize in retail. Like, you're peopling 24/7.
mhm.
And some of those people aren't exactly the nicest people you want to talk to.
And I think about that too, because like you remember, Hunters was my favorite job. I ever get to be able to retire, like that's gonna be my retirement. But but like doing what I did is I could go to work and I could write names on ornaments all day long and listen to audiobooks, listen to music, and you know, apparently there is wherever you're at, like there's drama no matter where you go. And
Right.
there's so much different stuff happening around me, but I had no idea. And there I was, just, ignorance is bliss kind of type thing, I suppose, because, and I only
Right.
say that because I was so focused on listening to my audiobook and just praying that my Bluetooth speakers or headphones didn't like die on me in the middle of Outlander in a Christian, business. So, but you know what I mean? Like, I just sat there with my earbuds in, and I could decorate ornaments all day long. And
Yes.
I had my own little cubicle, and I'd be working on ornaments, and I'd stack boxes up where I had my own little fort, so nobody seen me, and I could drink my coffee and just chill out, and I loved it. I loved it. I loved the job,
Yeah.
and because I didn't have the big person like the big pants adult, decisions. I didn't have to do that stuff. I just would go in and I get what I need to get done. And I was good at what I did, and I loved every moment of it. I loved it.
Yeah.
But having to make the big pants decisions, now it's like what I do. I'm thankful for it. Like, don't get me wrong, I am thankful for it. But I'm sure she understands, and you get it because you see her come home, and
Yeah.
the whole unmasking thing is so real when it comes to that stuff. It's just like, okay, I'm home now. I can just
What,
so
and I mean
yeah.
that's the thing is with any high frequency job because that's what it comes down to. Like there's people, there's decisions. Like I look at kind of how this channel has been over the years. Like doing so many of these shows, like it was great. It was high intensity, it was high frequency. There was a lot of moving parts, but you can
Hmm.
only function at that level for a certain amount of time before you experience burnout. And God, I hit it so hard
Well,
for,
yeah.
that duration. And then everything like just smoked and like
Hmm.
nothing worked right. And I'm like, well, shit, now I got to take a downtime. I don't know what the hell to do with myself. And then when we came
Right.
back, I was like, I miss having the downtime because I didn't have to dance monkey. I didn't have to be the little monkey with the cymbal. And just like it was really weird coming back into that high frequency, high intensity, lots of people, lots of moving parts. And I just went,
Hmm.
I think I'm going to dial this back a little bit instead of producing so much content, but producing the content that everyone is enjoying and
Hmm.
not burning
Yeah.
myself out in the process of that. So finding that balance has still been kind of tricky, but it's becoming easier the more that I become more comfortable in doing less, but making better content.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. And like you've shouldered a lot of that stuff, when there was things that the 9 to 5s, the 7 to 5s, the all around, like where I couldn't even navigate, anything extra. And I do appreciate that. And, here we are again coming back together, trying to work in those schedules and, getting that stuff together. But yeah, sorry, it was very weird. I think it's very windy out here and this tall screen door sounded like somebody was pounding on it. Okay. Anyway,
No, the wind
so
picked up, so yeah,
yeah, yeah. I was like, because I don't have the curtains up yet. But anyway, so I do appreciate that time, and now we're coming back together, trying to figure out, the right balance for
yeah.
everything that we're doing. Got one more thing here. Mental exhaustion and physical exhaustion are two completely different things, says Mr. Guy, and he is
Indeed.
completely correct.
We got El
Yeah.
Jefe over on Facebook saying, hi, all.
Hello, well, Hefe. I got three questions, quick ones, rapid fire before we go to end this on a positive. Give
Let's do
me
it.
three things that have brought you joy this week. Food, book, movie. Go.
That would probably be, food, books that I just discovered, and trimming the fat in some of my busybody work and some of my collections. So it's kind of nice prioritize and doing a little bit of early spring cleaning, winter cleaning slash cleaning up the space, making the organizing a little easier.
Okay, and then so let's try that again. Three things that brought you joy. Okay, one food that brought you joy, one book that brought you joy, and one movie that brought you joy this week.
Oh, okay.
Food or TV series.
Oh, okay. So I made myself a venison steak that was absolutely incredible.
Love that.
I slow roasted it for like literally an hour on low heat. It was so good with some
Love
garlic
that.
and some fresh herbs and
So good.
spices. A new movie or a movie that brought me joy. I literally watched the Assassin's Creed movie again because I was reading the series.
Love it.
And then what was the last one?
Book.
Book.
Yeah,
the new audio book series or old audio book series of the Assassin's Creed. Because I burned through the first book and now I'm on to the second one. So
love it. Okay, so book that brought me joy, You're a Badass. I am reading that again by Dmtw.
Yes.
I have the little desk calendar too. I'm telling you what, get it if you got a chance. Yes, we're through January going into February, but oh my God, that thing is awesome. I love it. There was one day I was having like such a major struggle and I was emotional. I was having such a tough day. And when I flipped it up to look at what it was, it said, move on, get over it. And I was like, okay. So there was that. The food, I learned some new TikTok recipes, or not TikTok, but shorts on YouTube. And the one recipe I tried was 2 hard-boiled eggs, an avocado, green onion, and feta cheese mixed up with olive oil and salt and pepper.
Oh my God, that sounds amazing. I'm coming to your house.
Chopped up and put on some gluten-free toast. Oh,
I'm coming to your house.
So good.
You're making me that.
So good. So good. And then TV series or movie. I will be honest. When I was sick, I finished watching Bridgerton. Like the last.
Nice.
No, it was Queen Charlotte because that goes off of Bridgerton.
Oh, yeah,
I already finished. I finished Bridgerton. But yeah, so those were my three. All right. So thank you guys for tuning in, hanging out with us. I wanted to end that on like a positive note there. We thank you guys for joining us, hanging out with us, listening to us, and also listening to our recommendations from the channels that we support and channels that are underneath our umbrella. We thank you guys for coming in, hanging out. Had a little bit of audio issues in the beginning. Made it work. We're here. We were here. Thank you all. Appreciate you commenting, liking, subscribing, doing all that fun jazz. We do appreciate that. And we love you all. Love you all. So continue to take care of yourselves. Find some joy this week. I want to hear next week what 3 things are for you. And we will come back if we are coming back next week.
Yeah, as far as I know.
We should be coming back next week. We'll put it up on Facebook. If you aren't following on Facebook, come hang out with us on Facebook as well.
Yeah.
Strange Friends Media. Don't make this weird. I can't remember what one it's on over there, but you'll find us. So thank you guys again. Have anything before we go?
Just make sure if you want to hang out with us, comment, throw a like and subscribe up there. And yeah, we'll see you guys next week or when we see you, because who knows, man, we're going to be doing crazy stuff. Just stay tuned.
Stay tuned. All right, guys. And remember, keep it weird.
See you guys later.